Hey friends, I just wanted to come on today to chat for a few minutes about what my December schedule looks like. I have been having a lot of conversations with fellow entrepreneur friends and colleagues and some of my Full Circle Press clients, some of whom are also entrepreneurs themselves, some of whom are in traditional 9-to-5 jobs, and just talking about schedules in general is actually, and productivity is one of my favorite things to talk about. But I've been hearing just so many different things about what people's Decembers look like. And just to give you a little bit of history, my background is actually as a high school teacher. I started my career as a high school English teacher. And so after getting my doctorate and being in school for so long, well, I started teaching and then got my doctorate. But basically, and then just teaching all those years, my schedule in my mind, I still work off of sort of like a school calendar year. I can't sort of break that habit. And so that being said, just thinking about my December as an entrepreneur, I just want to give you a little sneak peek into sort of what I've been up to, what it looks like. First of all, the December started off to a little bit of a slow start because my husband and I came back from spending Thanksgiving with my family, and I promptly got pretty sick with some sort of bug. And so I was last week pretty down and out on the couch. But the good news is, even though I couldn't take a lot of meetings and coaching calls and things like that, I was able to get some significant progress made on a couple of books that we are in the end stages of editing at Full Circle Press that are going to print in early 2023. And so did a lot of book editing last week, sort of had less meetings, a more like expansive schedule and some space around my days, but worked a lot of hours last week. This week is filled with a lot more meetings, but I'm also doing some content creation, batching some content, laying out a social media plan for the start of 2023, working on a couple of exciting projects for Full Circle Press that are rolling out in the spring that are in the planning stages. And also, though, it's also the time of wrapping things up and just being intentional about ending the year strong. So working on some business financials with someone I have hired to help me with that project. And then next week, actually taking some time off. I'm gonna be vacationing with my brother's family, really looking forward to that and spending some time with them. And so next week, doing very little except maybe a little bit of evening work because they go to bed pretty early, but pretty much taking most of next week off. And then I come back and I'll work a little bit before the Christmas holiday, but again, slowing down on meetings, slowing down on client meetings. My offices I close for usually 2 or 3 weeks around Christmas just to give my team a break. And then we are gonna take some, of course, rest and renewal around Christmas and New Year's. It's actually a busy time in my husband's business, so I might, I'm planning on doing some work, but in an unscheduled way. So, there's times that I took my first ever sabbatical this past year, month-long sabbatical, where I did absolutely no work. And then there's other seasons and I also took the entire week off of Thanksgiving to be with my family. And then there's seasons like this Christmas season where it feels like working on projects that are gonna sort of renew me, but in a very unstructured way. So I'm very driven by my calendar, but my December, like the latter half of the month isn't gonna have a whole lot calendared, but I'll do some work sessions at some of my local favorite coffee shops, and even moving my office out to the living room so I can look at the Christmas tree while I'm working. And but mostly working on wrapping up these book edits to get these books ready for publication, and then doing some forecasting for next year and just some general end of the year wrap up stuff. Also, I'm watching, I think, every single cheesy Netflix movie that comes out, Christmas movie that comes out. My husband and I have some just little traditions planned, like going to look at Christmas lights one night, and then and beginning to do a little bit of Christmas shopping. We don't do a whole lot of presents, but we do presents with each other. And so sort of scoping out what we want for Christmas, and then just also drinking a lot more tea and hot beverages. I find that it doesn't matter if I'm in a place that's warm or a place where there's snow outside. December rolls around and I want some more hot beverages. Also, this is not a paid advertisement or anything, but this is my first ever Yeti, and I don't always get hung up on like brand name, like trendy things, but let me tell you, This Yeti has changed. I don't know if anybody else does this, but sometimes, especially if I'm really focused on something, I can like make myself a cup of tea. Well, I mostly drink like matcha green tea lattes that I home make, or I'll have like coffee like once a week maybe at home, but not right now because I broke my coffee pot. But that's a story. I shattered the carafe. It was devastating. But that's a story for another day. But anyway, back to my point, what I love, love, love about drinking my coffee in this lovely contraption is that, which also matches my phone case, which is kind of cool, but it keeps my tea so warm. I made this matcha latte like an hour ago. I haven't even had a sip of it yet, or I've taken like one sip, but I think it's still like very hot, which I think is awesome. So anyway, this is just the first in a, just a different way to show up on video. It's completely unscripted, but as I just like get these ideas, just wanted to share with you a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes of what my December looks like. This isn't necessarily a how-to because your December might look very different than mine for many different reasons, but I encourage you to, you know, roll with the seasons, not only of life, but even the seasons of the year, and don't miss it. And I say this as someone who, I used to work 7 days a week. And I used to just work all the time, work through vacations, never take a rest, or work so hard running into like a vacation that I would end up the whole vacation sick. And that used to be my life. It's not anymore, which I'm very grateful for. I think it's been a lot of grace and also a lot of intentional shifts in my life that have gotten me to this place. So anyway, just want to share a little bit what my December was shaping up to look like. Whatever you are doing this month, just make it meaningful, and I will talk to you all soon.